Jamie and Carmel, welcome to the very beginning of the design process. It's really just to be able to start off a conversation about design. So your existing space, basketball court, hard up against the house there. I've moved it around in a couple of concepts. The timbers, the black steel, I really love that look, and I'm just running with that theme for the most of these concepts. The flats at the back, I understand that you want to block those out. The shed's massive. I think it's going to have to go. I can't fit it in with everything else. The Feijoa that's next to the shed, that tree is a really nice tree. I don't know whether it's worth saving or not, but let's have a look. So I did a site survey and Jamie gave me the house plans, and this is what I came up with. Now at the back of the block, there's a discrepancy between my measuring and what's on the house plans. The green lawn is shown to be where the house plans are, and how I measured with my laser tape is where the fence line is. So I'm going to run with my laser tape at this point in time. Basketball court is on those tiles. I'm hoping that underneath those tiles is a concrete slab so that we can actually lift that up and move it. Moving the ring is neither here nor there. And in some of the drawings I've moved the pizza oven, but the rest, the bluestone paving, the sheltered structure off the house, I really just haven't touched any of that at all. So here's my first concept. First concept is where we have the pool on that left-hand side as we're looking out. I've moved the basketball court down to the end. I've got some screen planting. I've got a pool and spa. It goes in and out in different shapes. You can see that shade structure at the back left-hand side of the property. A small deck, and then this side here is lawn. I've got the shed on this side just stuck there. I don't particularly like it, and because of the pool fence regulations, I've actually moved the pizza oven away from there. Now I know it's not the best spot for it, and maybe we can put it back into the other space better than what I've got it here, but this is just where the design is at the moment, and I simply just pick it up and move it later on. Looking out from both those windows, so this view out here is really the view that has the pool in it. Obviously, those timbers, the vertical timbers, I've copied all the way around. Sort of. I've got a slightly different design to mine, which you can see there. It's got this pelmet effect, which I like to do lighting inside of it. Spa is about 1.8 by 2 meters. You can see that bluestone paving is continued throughout here. It steps up to a timber deck, and then I've got a little bit of polished concrete at the end. Bladed fence, combination of bladed fence and glass fencing. You can see on the bottom of the glass fencing I've got black spigots. Steps, entry to the pool, swim out. This pool's about just over 9 meters long, and I think it's about 5 meters at its widest point. The fence runs down the middle of the property where you've got that blade wall coming out from that second room. So this corner in the afternoon is a great spot to be able to get all that shade. The sun will set more or less behind us at the moment, and so some of the other designs where I've got it flipped on the other side, the sun is just going to beat in to where I've tried to create shade, and it's really just that late afternoon shade. Some of the midday shade is going to be fine in both spots. Now this one is really subtly different to the first one. I've simply brought things forward, and I've put a hedge all the way along the back. That's the biggest difference here, and some of the dimensions to the pool, which we can go over. There's not a great deal of room for plants. I think what we're probably going to need to do, and I probably should have done it, is put in some pot plants just to provide greenery, some softness, and things like that. You can see that back there underneath that shade pavilion, as opposed to the previous design, that is all just a beautiful big piece of polished concrete slab. The basketball court, I've pushed that down to the end of the property. The shed is on the right hand side there. Again, I'd really like to screen that off. Black steel looks really great. And I haven't got a spot to put in all of the pool equipment at this stage. I need to have this conversation with you about where we're going to try and allocate that. The shed at the moment for me is ideal. We just put all the equipment in there. I've given you a little bit of a gap so you can get around the back of that timber screen. That I don't know what you're going to do for a shed. So this design is completely flipped. Basketball court and lawn now on the left hand side of the property as you're looking out. The shed is hidden by the timber screen. It's got the pool equipment in there. Pizza oven is managed to stay in its location. And so looking out, being in this spot here, you're really well connected with that lawn. Timber screens obviously run through. I have tried to bring in some planting as a deciduous tree there, something like a maple. And then the views out from this area, which is where the kitchen is looking out we're looking out down onto the pool like so. And I really want to take advantage of the existing roof that you've got here. Move the basketball court out of the way. Open these doors out to a lounging space, and this lounging space is then cut off from the pool via the pool fence, which we have to do. But I have extended that roof out, not flat like you've got it, but at a skillion angle, which is similar to the angle that you've got on the side here. And then I've just played around with a couple of different exposed posts exposed posts and beams like you have on the other side. It's essentially an 8x4 meter pool, but the spar is about 2x2 meters. It takes up one corner, and you can see I've got this tiled feature wall that runs along the back of the pool. Got some featured trees there, polished concrete at the back of the pool, some nice plants, and you'll see later on this is all nicely lit up. What I want to do with all these settings is I've actually gone for soft furnishings. I really like the idea that we, in the lounging area, we go for things like bean bags, and bean bags that can be put into the pool. These trees will need to be clipped and pleached and hedged and looked after a lot. Otherwise they will get too big and start to drop their leaves into the pool. The nice thing about having deciduous foliage is that it tends to drop their leaves just that once in autumn. Very clean obviously in winter, and they do tend to hang onto the leaves tightly through summer. So in this concept, so we've looked at two concepts where the pool runs lengthways away from the house on the left hand side, the right hand side of the property. This one I want to show you what we can do is just by running the pool across the back of the property. You see the pool fencing is a combination of steel and glass, black spigots at the bottom of the glass, this cantilevered shade structure, and I kind of like the idea of putting that raised wall in. So you really can only access the pool from three sides. The raised wall at the back is tiled, and it also keeps all the leaves and the debris from that garden bed in that garden bed. The basketball court has stayed in this instance, and the garden bed is actually really quite tight at the back here. And so in my next version of this, I've just moved everything forward by about a meter, and you'll see the results of that. So by moving it forward a bit, there's no point having a little tiny strip of grass where the basketball hoop is. I've turned that into garden bed, and I've given you a bit of paving access on the other side of the pool. And you can see what it does when we introduce these nice trees, these nice softeners to the landscape environment. Fantastic for lighting. I haven't shown you a lighting example on this one. I really wish I had have. But these look stunning when lit up. So the basketball court stays. We have a bit of foreground interest, and so don't forget the pool's not going to be used necessarily. The pool component's not going to be used in winter. The spa component might be. And then you've got, if you're wanting to use the spa when it's slightly colder, you've still got that ability to go and use that space. We can put heaters and things in the ceiling and turn that into a bit of a winter space as well. I've got a TV set up in that one. It becomes a really good go-to area. polished. You can see bluestone on the house side, polished concrete on the rear boundary side. This spa is about 1.8 by 2, and the pool itself is about 8 by 4 meters, I think. Obviously running across the width of the property. And the fencing, obviously, all the fencing has to be made pool fence compliant. So we've got the pool fence, the glass and steel pool fence in the front here. All the boundary fences also have to be made compliant. And here's I've just thrown this in just to give you a sense of what that atmosphere would be like. I like the idea of doing the timber screens with these pelmets and doing LED strip lights underneath them. But you can do some fantastic lighting effects with lights that sit proud of the timber screen. You can have uplights from the ground, so on and so on. It's just one effect. So anyway, have a look at these and let me know what you think, and we'll further the conversation from there.